Crystal Palace, Mamadou Soko, a man that should have, for me, have stayed, if you'd have been reading my columns this season, which I'm sure you will have done, should have stayed at Liverpool. Liverpool should have used him, put their arm around him, and basically then got rid of him at the end of the season. He is going to be in the defence, a much better defence recently for Big Sam Allardyce. They face Watford. I think that Crystal Palace will now go on a little run. They're playing teams in and around them. I think that Christian Benteke will be looking forward to this one. I can see him scoring. Maybe Jason Punchin weighing in with a goal as well. Or maybe even Will Zaha. He's due a goal. Hasn't scored as many goals as perhaps he should have this season from the positions that he gets himself in. I'm going to go for Crystal Palace 2 and a obligatory Troy Deeney goal for Watford, the visitors. Crystal Palace 2, Watford 1. What about Everton? Lots of rumours, speculation. Who was the first person to write about Romelu Lukaku? It was my fantasy in my last BoyleSports column, talking about maybe Tottenham Hotspur putting in a bid. I do take on board what a lot of Spurs fans and Evertonians said about Spurs being able to afford him. Other clubs will, Manchester United, Manchester City, Chelsea. But I just think if Spurs do have a few quid spare whilst they're building the new stadium, why wouldn't you want to buy a Romelu Lukaku? Harry Kane does have a little bit of an injury issue now, certainly in the last 12 months. Couple of injuries to the same ankle. Why wouldn't you want to have really good backup? And in that backup, that would be a top quality striker that in himself scores plenty of goals at this level of football. The visitors are Hull. Marco Silva's doing a decent job, as I've mentioned many times this season, with a relatively small squad and relatively little wiggle room to be able to add quality to the Tigers' offence or defence. But I can see Everton keeping a clean sheet. I can see Romelu Lukaku again putting another couple of $100,000 or $1 million or so on his price tag and getting both goals in a 2-0 victory against Hull City. Everton 2, Hull City 0. Let's go to the Potteries. Very strange season for Stoke City. Been the Midlands top dogs for a couple of seasons. They may well again be this season in the top half of the table. But unfortunately for Midlands football, that seems to be the summit of the ambition these days, is getting in that top half of the table. Of course, save for champions Leicester City and their miracle from last season. The visitors are Chelsea, flying on all cylinders. No European football. They will have European football next season. It will be Champions League football, and it'll probably be Champions of England as well going into that tournament. But I can't see Stoke City being able to hold back the likes of Hazard. He's due a goal. Look out for him, particularly on the counter-attack for Chelsea. Diego Costa, and of course that man, N'Golo Kante, that I spoke to Henry Winter last week on Call Collymore USA, and he said he is the most important player in the country. Who could disagree with him on that one? So I'm going to go for Stoke City 0. They're not going to be able to break down the central defensive three for the Blues. Chelsea 2, and I'll go for Diego Costa and Eden Hazard to score the goals for the champions-elect. A very different game up at the Stadium of Light. David Moyes and Sunderland are running out of chances near the bottom, if not the bottom of the Premier League. They host Burnley. I thought Burnley did very well at stages, took the lead at Anfield, and their away form now is just starting to pick up a little bit. A team with one of the worst away records in the division, plus also one of the best home records in the division. I'm actually going to go for a Desmond on this one. I think it'll be a cracking game. I think that both sides can't keep clean sheets. That man Jermaine Defoe maybe to get one. Sam Vokes, of course, may well lead the line. What about Joey Barton from perhaps a free kick? He scored one a little bit earlier in the season. But this is my Desmond. I'm doing well on the Desmonds this season. Look in the top of your screen now what odds we're going to get for this one on BoyleSports. I'm going to go for Sunderland 2, Burnley 2. What about West Ham as they host the champions of England? You could be forgiven for thinking now that Craig Shakespeare is the manager till the end of the season, everything is rosy in the garden. But they still have to look over their shoulders. Will they go to West Ham and play with the kind of confidence that they have in recent games? Unbeaten in the last three wins actually for Craig Shakespeare, and of course getting into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. But usually when you play big emotional nights in European football, it's a bit of a gear change. They're going to the big wide open spaces of the London Stadium. And I can certainly see West Ham digging out something from this game against Leicester City. I think they'll catch the champions on the hop. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. Perhaps Ayew on the score sheet for the Happy Hammers. Perhaps for Leicester. Maybe it won't be one of the first 11 that scores. Maybe a Musa or a Slimani coming onto the pitch for the Foxes. I could certainly see a fresh substitute getting a goal for the champions of England. I'm going to go for West Ham United 1, Leicester City 1.